We are here today thanks to AWI and Shearing Contractors Association Australia. They've started a bit of an initiative. We're putting some video. They are putting some videos together to talk on different subjects in shearing industry related subjects, technique and stuff like that. And we're a part of that, and I'm very grateful for that. For those who don't know me, my name's Wayne Hosie. I live in New South Wales. I spent a lot of time while I was improving, travelling around a lot of different places around Australia and overseas as well. I got to work with a lot of very highly skilled and talented people and learn a lot. And now I'm kind of lucky that I can use that information to hand on to younger people within the industry. That's my background. I've done a lot of competitions and just enjoy shearing in general. I think it's a really good job. So the main subject that we're going to talk on throughout this is a lot of sport shear related stuff. So we've been asked to talk about sport shear tips, and just general stuff basically. So we've got Daniel McIntyre with us, obviously current national champion, 5 times national champion. Mate, I'll let you introduce yourself from here and then we'll get stuck into it.
Yeah, so, well, Wayne's just introduced me, Daniel McIntyre. So I've managed to get 5 national titles under my belt. I've been shearing for coming up 21 years, pretty much been in competition right from the very first year I started shearing. It's always been an environment that's very open for learning experiences, and I just really enjoyed it throughout the time. So.
Yeah, and so can I just fire a few questions at you, mate? So when you said you started in competitions almost immediately. So how did that come about? How did you first get involved? Explain that a bit more for us.
Yeah, well, it sort of come from the guys that I was working with, and they were all keen on the competition side of it. They were all quality-driven shearers. They loved that. Also, back when I was a kid, I loved that competition environment, as chasing athletics around and stuff like that. So it really it was just fitted, my personality and what I enjoy doing. So.
Yeah, and you still enjoy doing it now?
I love it.
Yeah. So I guess back just going into something simple, you're even at that early stage, you're a product of your environment. You're surrounded by people that are doing a good quality job, and there's emphasis on that. And you'll get you shearing in a fine wool area too, which I guess makes things a bit more, farmers are potentially a bit more stringent on that real fine wool, but having such high value.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah. A lot of the growers around here are very, very particular about the job, and it's not just about the numbers around here. You've got to do the job. I guess that sort of put me in good stead to take on the competitions. Having that start in that environment. Yeah.
It's probably something you see a lot too. You generally, I guess, in life and in shearing competitions, you generally are a product of your environment. Hey, you end up following whatever part, what your surroundings are. Yeah.
Definitely, yeah. You end up shearing like the bloke beside you a lot of the time, don't you?
Yeah. I do find that training too, when you go out to training in different teams, how people will subconsciously, without even realising, being using technique that usually the fastest guy in the team would use. There's like this subliminal draw that goes on where they end up following them without even realising. Yeah. So back to them early stages, mate, did you ever dream of of being national champion or state champion or anything like that at that point?
I guess it probably took a couple of years before that dream might have come about. I think I probably got through the intermediate, so probably into my senior days before that sort of crossed my mind. But at the time it was all about getting out there and learning, and it's a great social event as well, having fun. I went through a stage where I was putting a lot of pressure on myself to win, and forgot about the fun side of it, and stopped enjoying it. And I said, hang on, the reason why I started this was because it was great fun, getting out, meeting people and learning, it was great. So
yeah,
once I realised that, well, we started moving forward again.
That's good, mate. I actually heard Dion Morrell sum it up really well in the Scoop podcast recently. He was on there and he was saying about how people can focus on going to competitions just to win, but it's not about that. It's more about them little bits of improvement, or little things you might see that you haven't seen in your workplace, or meeting people from different areas that cheer at different times of year, and all that kind of stuff that goes on. There's so much. It's not just about either winning or losing. There's so much things that surround it as well.
Potential there for personal growth. Some of the best lessons learned are the biggest mistakes we make, aren't they? Like, we don't have to be, you probably don't learn a lot from winning. I mean, you probably might know how you got there, what you done on the day to win, but I guess some of the biggest lessons are the biggest mistakes.
100%. Now, so run us through your story a bit, mate. So your first time to nationals, and then the path. I think it's a great story. You give us a bit of a run through onto your next appearance in the Australian team after that.
So I think I made my first Australian team back in 2004. I was 23 years of age, and I sort of I guess I was, like we said before, a product of the environment that I was in. I was just getting up there and shearing. I really had no idea of what I was doing. I know it sounds funny, but basically doing what I was coached and told to do from all the coaching over the years, and pretty much fell on my feet, and fell into that Australian team and thought, wow, look at this. I'm shearing beside Shannon Warnest, this is great. And so 2005 we went to the World Champs in Toowoomba, where I finished second to Shannon. It was good times, a lot of fun, a lot of learning. And then I think the most I learnt was the 9 years to come after that, where I kept making state teams and representing New South Wales, but I couldn't get back into that Australian team. I guess it was a fair stint there, and I just couldn't work out what was happening, what was going on. And I think I put too much emphasis on trying to beat someone, like beating Shannon Warnest was the ultimate goal, obviously, at that stage. And it was pretty much tripping me over every time, Instead of beating Shannon every show I went to, it was more about beating myself every day in the shed and improving on what I was doing every day, just churning that out every day. And in the end, I found my way back into the Australian team, and it was a great lesson.
And I get, 9 years is a long time, to keep turning up, and you're doing your best, you're doing everything you can. There would have been times during that period where you're like, am I going to continue to do this, or, but did you have those thoughts, mate, or what?
Yeah, I definitely did have those thoughts. Definitely had those thoughts of maybe I'm not good enough, I guess everyone probably has those thoughts, don't they? When you're trying so hard and getting nowhere, maybe it's just not for me. And to put a finger on exactly what happened and how I got back in there, I don't really know. I think it was just perseverance and just chipping away, all day, just getting that little bit better every time, and then eventually got back in.
Just focus on every day, just turning up to work and just looking for any areas of improvement that you can. Yeah.
Well, being honest with yourself, you can't blame the sheep or blame the judges every day. You've got to be 100% honest with yourself and get back in the shed and fix it up.
Yeah, it is quite easy to fall into that trap. It's someone's fault, or you didn't get the right draw, but I guess what you're saying is making yourself accountable for what happens. Yeah.
Exactly right.
Yeah, and I guess whatever you're focused on other competitors, you're probably not focusing on what is more, what's going to get you your best result either, are you?
Yeah, well, you could find yourself listen to the commentary, because you're so absorbed in beating someone else. You're constantly listening to the commentary. Where are they? What are they doing? Are they doing a good job? Are they, and hang on, I've just shot a full sheep and I haven't concentrated one little bit on what I'm doing.
You may as well be in the crowd having a watch of old mate.
Yeah, because that's all you're thinking about. So you've got to be 100% focused on yourself and what you're doing.
Yeah. I it might have been a couple of years ago now. I signed up to a sports psychologist, like an internet-based one, and one of the big takeaways that I got from that was that he said to me that, like, I was kind of explained the competition and how it works and all that sort of stuff, and he said, so there's actually nothing that your competitors can do to affect the way you perform unless you let them. Like, I guess it's a hard one to get your head around, but it really stuck with me. It changed the way that you can only control what you can, and the rest otherwise you may as well be handling it.
Well, that's pretty much the only thing in your control is what you do, isn't it? You can't control anything.
And being fully accountable for
it.
Yeah. So then we're going to backtrack now. So coming up through the grades, what are some things that you found through that, novice, intermediate, senior, that really helped you progress?
I think one of the big things was I got shown early on was positioning in relation to the down tube. And that's something that helped me right back at novice stage, right through every grade, and still helping me today. And if anything goes wrong, it's immediately the first thing I go back to is getting that right.
So just like, I know that anyone who's seen you compete, you've got your mad little ritual you do before you start, and you make sure that you've got a starting point for reference. Some people might look at that and think that it's really basic, like, why would you bother? Why would you do that?
Well, I always say, like, if something's not going off for you, you go right back to basics and start from scratch again. And if that means scratching a mark on the floor, well, that's what we do. That's what I do.
I'm with you, mate. I'm with you.
Yep.
Yeah. No, like you said, you've always got that reference point, eh? It's